Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to today's twin flame ascension reading for the week of June 5th through June 11th. I'd like to talk first about a few of the astrological events that are taking place and how that aligns with our ascension work and our personal development, as well as the masculine and the feminine energies and how that connects also when integrated. And so we have just came out of yesterday. There's a lot of sensitivity, a lot of emotions that have been releasing due to Mars having entered Cancer yesterday, being a very sensitive sign. And so what is happening because of this sensitivity, we're being asked to dig deeper inside to clear another layer of emotions that is really connected to the lower vibrational sides of ourselves so that we can clear the space and create expansion within ourselves so our soul can go up in vibration. And so, we also have the full moon coming this week in Sagittarius, which is, a seeker, meaning right now, one of the things our soul is seeking in our ascension process is to start to live from a place of this expanded version of ourselves. So many people have went through so much of this deep karmic clearing, and we are asked to go to another layer for sure to release this. However, by doing so, we're operating from two places at one time. It's not as the intense work was when we were going through dark nights of the soul, not that some people still aren't, but from 2012 through 2016 was some really deep dark night of the soul work for masses of amount of people. Now, a lot of people have started to create their spiritual awakening, and they're going up in that vibration, up in the consciousness, now being asked to work multidimensional, meaning releasing some of the lower vibrations and still letting go of a deeper level within ourselves and expanding that by starting to create a new vision. And at the same time, repainting our life with new vision from the higher conscious awareness. And this is kind of a fun place to be, but yet it can be an intense place because of doing this multi-plane work in these multi-dimensions all at the same time. So now tomorrow, Mercury is going to enter Gemini, and that is about getting messages out there. And with Gemini being that social butterfly and being expanded, and this is a twin flame month, so with the Geminis, with the twins, and so there's going to be a lot of work this upcoming week to be done on the self, balancing the masculine and the feminine energies. And so I did a reading on that, and the intention card of that is balancing the harmonic balance between the giving and the receiving, the giving and taking. So what's happened is, in the past, we have been so accustomed to do, and through the pain of our past experiences, it has blocked us from being open to receive the things that we've been seeking. Now what we're being asked to do is to trust the process and have patience. So from the divine feminine this week, there's going to be a lot of patience, a lot of hitting those deep places. I'm seeing that working with twin flames, where a lot of the divine masculine are doing another round of going through the deep karmic purge of their release work and clearing out some of those old ways, the old tendencies, especially when it's revolved around other relationships. This is really testing a lot of the divine feminine when it comes to trusting this process and realizing that this is the soul journey of our own personal ascension, and that from the divine feminine standpoint, it is about letting go. It is about doing your personal mastery work and letting go of the twins. So there's a lot of this, but there's been a letting go along this period. Now there's a lot of the divine feminine having to let go of that divine masculine. And it's really testing a lot of people right now. So the more you can kind of be aware of this, especially if this is coming through this upcoming week, even a lot of tests are coming. And so pay attention to the, us I'm seeing, pay attention to the number 2 or 22 or 222, things with twos. That is the divine's way of connecting with you to remind you to have faith, to remind you to trust your own instincts, to remind you to practice this patience that I'm referring to, and that everything is in divine order, and really just have faith. So pay attention to that. And this is going to be a week of balancing the masculine and feminine energies, the giving and the taking. And so, you know, with that being said, there's some things I want to discuss from the feminine side that will help you work towards the things that you can do this week to help balance that for yourself. So one of the ways is to make sure to keep those lower chakras clear, to do some of the Merkaba activation. And Merkaba is the sacred geometry symbol, and Archangel Metatron is really good for this. I'm also seeing the numbers. This is like a number 1-1, which is could be 1-1 being, you know, the power of 2 is greater than 1. And this is again a balance sign between the balance of the masculine and the feminine energies, and keeping the chakras in balance. Guided meditations also work very well for this in order to clear those 7 chakras and to keep them balanced and harmonically operating at the best optimal rate that they can, so that way you are not feeling such a disruption in your energetic imprint that also causes you to feel like from the internal vibration, it will make you feel things around you more sensitive. When I'm, you know, being more sensitive to what's happening around you when these chakras are balanced, especially if you have been working on clearing your chakras and getting a more balance energetically, and now you're finding another shift in these imbalances, you're going to be more sensitive to that because you've went up in vibration and you've expanded your energy, and now you're just more sensitive energetically because you've opened those channels of the higher consciousness. So now another thing to make sure to do from that divine feminine side is to integrate another layer of these pieces of what we're being asked to clear. Now, remembering that through the integration process of this karmic pattern that we're releasing, it's the layering effect. As we release things, we're going down layers and layers and layers of karma. And now we're being, as we release those things, we're going up in our vibration, up in our consciousness. And so now we're being asked to reevaluate and integrate and process that information from a higher conscious awareness that gives us a higher state of being and a higher state of understanding. And this is, again, that multidimensional planes happening at one time that I'm talking about. And so this is going to help expand you. The ultimate goal is expansion. And again, the balance of the dualities of the process of this letting go and receiving, like basically setting intentions. So if you're letting go, which is a powerful thing to do on the full moon coming up on June 9th in Sagittarius, as to make a list of things that are no longer serving your purpose, so that it creates the space for you to now set intentions from a new state of being, and to create that harmonic balance between the waxing and the waning of these energies and your process of release and manifesting into your life the reality. So that is another thing, manifesting from a state of a higher conscious state, so that you start to bring into form all of these thoughts, these visions, this new way of living that we're now being asked to do. You know, before it was just still living in some of the old ways, the old patterns, and trying to expand ourselves. Now we're actually moving into living in the new realities, the new dimensions, the new higher vibrational energy. And it's trying to acclimate our body, our self, our soul into this new space, so that we are bringing into form that which we've been seeking all along. And I can tell you, even from experience, it's been a little bit of a ride with that, because having let go of so many of those old patterns, those old ways, and being accustomed to things being done a certain way, and now being asked to live and act, and to even, you know, be in this new plane and this new energy, it's definitely quite an experience. It's also another layer of the letting go, another layer of surrender, another layer of that faith and practicing patience, because it's like being on the cusp of everything shifting, but yet it's not totally there, especially when it comes to your twin flame relationship. And remembering that to manifest that into physical form does take this personal mastery work of your own ascension. And so if that has not transpired, then it means there's deeper work to continue at the same time you're expanding, and then balancing the two of those can be quite challenging and quite intense. And I know that a lot of you know what I'm saying when I say that. Okay, so another thing that I'm seeing is a lot of the divine feminine has done a lot of this release work, and they're kind of now expanding themselves, but they are kind of stuck at this point, because now they're looking at themselves saying, what is my purpose? This is what this new and this last release that I'm talking about coming through with this full moon in Sagittarius coming up this Friday on June 9th here in the States. And so, you know, sometimes that can vary depending upon time frames and countries and things like that. So here in the States, it is June 9th on Friday. But one thing I want to remind you, the really only true purpose you have along this journey is to love. And that is to become an expression of love, which is also an expression of the Creator. And then to become that love, lead with that love, love thyself, love what you do, and love life, and then share that love. And that is part of this process and your agreement that you came here as a twin flame to do. And that is the other divine card that I drew, which is the divine feminine card, is to honor your agreement and put your mission in motion. And here too, just so you know, that is also the pyramids, and the sacred geometry of that is also producing the perfect harmonic balance of the oneness, which is creating the power of 2 is greater than 1 between some of the 1111 codes. I am, even just today, this morning, I got contacted by a new client that is just now starting the awakening codes of the 1111. And so many people are, the second wave of people are coming through with these wake-up calls. So we are being asked, the ones that have been around for a while, doing this work for a while, and going through this ascension for a while, we're being asked to start getting our missions in motion and setting ourselves up for purpose to help other people come through, that are coming through this acceleration of their ascension work, to be there to assist them. So many twin flames have this mission of service to help others along their paths and journey. But because I see a lot of people that they're not sure of their skills, they're not sure of, they're trying to put their mission on the back burner until they figure everything out, rather than realizing that in all reality, it's just a manner of showing up. And that as long as you show up every day with the intention of how can I serve, how can I be of service to humanity, how can I be of service to others, and even that is like a good affirmation for this week is I am open, I am willing, I am ready to serve and fulfill my divine purpose. I am open, I'm willing, I'm ready to show up and serve and fulfill my divine purpose. Okay, so put that on your list this week to be one of the things that you're willing to expand in, so that you stop being stuck about what is my purpose? What is my purpose? We're being asked now from this expanded version, while these dualities are taking place within us in this multidimensional space, to expand into purpose. So the only purpose I want you to start with is the purpose of love and the purpose of serving, that by giving back, and to not figure out the details and to worry about how you're going to get that job done, because that part will figure itself out. The details will unfold. It is also the divine process of allowing this to unfold rather than you trying to figure it out, which is another layer of letting go of the control that you have to have this perfect before you can go out and serve humanity or put your mission in motion. So this is the divine feminine I'm talking about. So we've had being able to keep those lower energies clear. I just want to recap this. And being able to, from a higher state of being, integrate this process and do it from a higher state of being, so that then you can start to honor your agreement from this higher state of being and put your mission in motion and discover and ask and be open, willing, ready to unfold what is the purpose of your mission, of your twin flame union, and to continue to find the harmonic balance of self along this journey. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the divine masculine side, and I'm going to go and pull these cards over here so I can share these with you. So from the divine masculine side this week, what we're seeing is this deeper clearing that I was mentioning, and where especially it involves a lot of recycling of relationships to help do another deeper layer of clearing. And that means relationships with the divine masculine with other people. This is helping them to create more awareness. This is waking them up to a greater consciousness. This is helping them to get more crystal clear vision for their spiritual journey. And so it's a very necessary part of this. And again, they're teaching you on the divine feminine side to let go so that they can do that. And it's, again, not easy. So in the divine masculine is also being put on a fast track. Oh, I'm going to show you the card. So this is the awareness that I'm referring to. So this is the first card for divine masculine, is creating crystal clear vision and creating a higher conscious awareness that is waking the divine masculine up, basically. Not that they haven't been awakened already, but we're talking they're continuing to go up in their vibration as well. And they are being awakened to this very fast track now. And that's why some of this is happening. So things are speeding up. The chosen ones has to do with us being chosen as part of our twin flame journey to get in alignment, basically. We chose to take on some of this karmic release so that we can connect to our higher selves. And a lot of the divine masculine have been hanging on and carrying the heavier karmic load so that the divine feminine can continue to accelerate to the highest ascension version of themselves, connecting to their highest potential. Now, a lot of the divine feminine has been doing that. Now the divine feminine is having to come back down that ladder just a little bit, connecting to a deeper, deeper layer of themselves, doing multidimensional paralleling of the dualities of the higher self and the lower self. That's also now helping the divine masculine clear some of the lower self patterns. That is speeding it up for the divine masculine. And so a lot of the divine masculine are being about to be hit left and right to be able to, if they have not made choices along this journey by now to basically let go of some things, things are going to really shift. And that is, again, and I'll show you the next, see the masculine twin being forced to release the lower self and the mirror image of that. And that is also a layer of what I call shift or be shifted. They've been given some choices to let go of some of the lower self ways, and now they're being forced to release those ways and being put in situations that are forcing them to face themselves, to choose to not choose, but to be forced to. They're not, and trust me, they're not choosing because they've been running from having to face these things. And now they're being forced to face them and look at the person in the mirror. And before, it was also looking at the divine feminine, their opposite in the mirror. Now they're being forced to look at themselves. They're letting go of the idea that it was all the other person's kind of the punching bag or the blaming them. Now they've kind of separated enough that they can see that it's really them needing to work on them. And it's actually a very good thing. I mean, it's hard to watch that happen sometimes because, especially from the higher consciousness, you can look at that and you can see where some of the things are that need to be addressed. And this could be with anybody, even with, you know, friends or other relationships. We can look at people from the outside. It's always much easier. But then keeping in mind that your twin is your mirror image. And so if they're not doing what it is that you think they should be doing, then you also have to look in the mirror at what it is you're not doing that they're responding to, because they always respond to the opposite of what it is that you are not working on within yourself as well. Okay, so now the merging of that masculine and feminine energy and merge. So this goes back to what I was saying about the new vision. So we're doing another layer of release work this week in order to be able to let the light shine through starting to get in purpose, starting to go up in a higher vibration, creating new vision. So that is going to be the point and the purpose of that. So it sets us up for the new moon and coming on the 25th, I believe, June. Just trying to think. I believe it is the 25th. And that is setting us up for seeking the balance that's going to be coming with that new moon in Cancer. And that is being where we're going to be putting more in motion the balance of those masculine and feminine energies, and also balancing the lower self and the higher self, and also creating that harmony of the giving and the receiving. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. It is advancing in general, the spiritual awakening of the shift or be shifted I was talking about, and just another higher conscious version of us connecting to our greatest potential from the spiritual, divine, eternal connection of ourself, in order to pull that into manifestation with the divine partner. And then that become harmonically balanced as well. So basically this week, just to kind of want to sum that up, is making sure to stay balanced. Stay balanced in self, higher self, lower self. Stay balanced in the masculine, the feminine energies, and stay balanced in the giving and the receiving. Trusting the process and letting go. Through the power of this new moon, it will amplify that work. And I want to give you a tip on, this is an Ascension deck of cards here. And so I want to give you like an action step to help accelerate your Ascension work. And we're going to see what guidance has to say here. All right. So this is saying to do the Huna prayer, which is like in Hawaiian. Huna is like Hawaiian, some Hawaiian prayers. It says, the high priest Hermes took his tribe from Atlantis to Hawaii, where he established the Kahuna tribe and taught the tribe to do the Huna prayers as follows. So first address your prayer to an angel or an ascended master of your choice. State your request 3 times in positive terms. Then sit with your palms up and say, "May the rain of blessings fall, so it be." Repeat that for 30 days, then stop. And so watch for the signs of the universe and take action at any time if it feels right. Your guidance is to start a Huna prayer for some aspect of your life and to continue if you are already engaged in one. So basically, what this is saying is I would, maybe Google some guided Huna prayers, find one that resonates with you. And that this is also about the balance that I'm talking about. You're putting out there what it is that you want, then you're being open to receiving it. So you ask, listen, and allow it to come. So, asking is the masculine way of what we need. So that would be a prayer, putting a prayer into motion as to what it is we're seeking, which aligns, with the seeker of the full moon. So, maybe if you start this from the full moon of this month through the full moon of next month, that for that 30-day cycle, that will be like a process of like the balance of that giving and taking, and also a balance of the harmonic energies between the waxing and the waning of the universal harmonic the harmonic balance of the universal energetic planetary actions between full moon to full moon as well. So, okay. So also, here's another affirmation on here I want to tell you. So your affirmation is your Huna prayer. So, make that Huna prayer an affirmation and make it short. And, even if you don't look up the Huna prayer, just sit down and speak to the universe, letting the universe know what it is you're seeking, and then be open to receiving it. Okay? Much love to you. Many blessings. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to share the shine, like, comment, and much love to you. Namaste.